Let's dive into bias and set up an 80s metal tone. Now I'm going to tap on the crunch category, and I'm going straight for the British Lead 800. Now before I do anything, I'm going to jack all these knobs up to 10. Check it out. Wow, that definitely sounds like a Marshall, but I think we can make it better. I'm going to tap on the gear icon to the right to enter edit mode. Okay, in the preamp section, usually the first thing I mess with are the preamp tubes, but for this Marshall sound, 12AX7 is exactly what I want, so I'm not going to mess with them. I'm actually not going to do a whole lot here in the preamp section. I'm going to raise the high cut frequency just a little bit, maybe bring up the low shelf on that second EQ there. And that's about it. Let's hear what we've got. Not bad, but we got a long way to go. Here in the tone stack, I'm not going to change anything. It's set for British Crunch. British Crunch is that JCM 800 sound, so that's what I'm going to use. Here in the power amp section, I'm going to change a few things. I'm going to leave the EL34 tubes. I'm going to bring up the distortion a little bit. I'm going to back off on the splitter gain, and I'm going to bounce up the power gain. Let's hear what that sounds like. It's starting to sound killer, but for me, it's a little bit bitey on the top end. So I'm going to switch to a vintage style presence response. Let's hear that. There you go. That's really starting to sound good. Here in the transformer section, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to keep the solid state rectifier, and I'm going to keep the British transformer. Here we're in the cab section. Now here you can switch between a bunch of different speakers and cabinet configurations. Right now we're set at Celestion V30s. Let's check that out. I'm going to go down to 412 green 25s. Let's hear that for the old greenback sound. That's definitely heavy, but from what I'm looking for, I'm going to go back to the V30s. I'm going to change the microphone to a C414, and I'm going to move it right to the line there where the dust cap meets the speaker, and I'm going to move it a little bit closer here on the grid to the right. I've added a little bit of reverb and delay after the amp. Let's hear what we get. You can even throw on an overdrive pedal and go for some Zach. Man, I could really get carried away with that, but you get the idea. With bias, there's really not a lot of sounds you can't get. Check it out.